The
In the bold
storyline
and the
centers
beautiful,
around Tony
an emotional
DiMera,
and dramatic
Theo
custody
Painless,
war is brewing that no one
executing
saw
one of his
coming.
most cunning and
A story
ruthless
that mixes
schemes
heartbreak,
yet.
moral
Tony,
conflict, and
known
family
for his
loyalty in
manipulative and
classic
strategic
DNB
mind,
fashion.
has been
The
playing
center of this
multiple
new
sides
storm is
against
Katie
each other.
Logan, who
Gabby
faces a shocking
DiMera,
roadblock
Sherry
in her
Jimenez,
adoption plans,
who had
just as
previously
Sheila
trusted
Carter
Tony
and Lee
after he
Finnegan
promised
find
the CEO
themselves in an
position at
explosive
DiMera
courtroom
Enterprises,
battle over joint
is
custody.
already furious
What begins
at
as
being
an act of love
double-crossed.
quickly spirals into
However,
a chaotic fight
Tony's
for
treachery
power,
doesn't stop
identity,
there.
and redemption.
He escalates the
It all
situation by
starts with
manipulating
Katie's
events
selfless
that
decision
involve
to
Theo
open her
Carter,
heart again.
Tyler Joseph
After
Andrews,
years of
and
heartbreak
Abe
and watching
Carver,
her family
James
fracture,
Reynolds.
Katie finally
Gabby has
feels
been
ready to
furious
give a
with
child
Tony
a
because she
stable
walked
and loving
straight
home.
into his trap
Inspired
while
by
trying
Hope's
to take down the
compassion and by
Kiriakis
seeing
brothers
how
for him.
RJ and Luna's
Despite
bond
her
healed their
anger,
pain,
she
Katie
is still
begins the process
resourceful
of
and ready
adopting
to
a
strike
baby who was
back.
recently abandoned at a
Meanwhile,
Los Angeles
Theo has been
hospital.
positioned as a new
She
player
works
in
through
DiMera
all the legal
Enterprises,
steps, meets
and
with
Tony
social
uses
workers,
Theo
and
as a
prepares to
pawn
bring
to
the baby
achieve his
home.
own goals.
For a while, it
Tony
seems like everything is
blindsides
going
Abe Carver in the
beautifully.
process,
Bill Spencer,
pulling
although
off a move that
surprised,
catches the
supports her
longtime
decision,
Salem law
telling her she
enforcement figure
deserves happiness and
completely
stability
off
after
guard.
everything she's
Abe,
endured.
who is
Brooke
usually
and Donna
vigilant and
shower her with
suspicious of
love and
DiMera's schemes,
encouragement, proud
find
of Katie
himself
for her courage and
outmaneuvered,
heart. But
showing
just as
how
Katie starts to
dangerous
believe her
and
dream is
calculating
coming
Tony has
true,
become.
she's hit
The
with
betrayal
devastating
is
news.
multi-layered.
The adoption
Tony
agency
not only
calls to
lies to
inform her
Gabby
that
and
there's been a
replaces her with Theo,
complication.
but also
The
sets up a
snag
situation
comes
where
from the
Theo
baby's
blindsides
biological
Abe,
background.
creating
The
chaos
child's
among
mother,
Salem's
whose identity
key
had been
players.
sealed,
This
suddenly
demonstrates
files an
Tony's
appeal through
willingness
her
to
attorney
manipulate
to reclaim
friends and
custody.
enemies alike
The mother's
to maintain
name?
power.
Lee Finnegan.
Gabby,
The
who
revelation
is
hits
already
Katie
feeling
like a
humiliated
thunderbolt.
and enraged,
It turns out
is
that
now
months
faced with
earlier,
the task
Lee
of
had secretly
outsmarting
arranged
Tony
for the birth of
while
a
dealing
baby
with the
through an
fallout of
anonymous
Theo's
medical
unexpected
program
actions
intending
against
to
Abe.
protect the child
Gabby's
from danger.
response will likely
But due to
involve her plotting
paperwork
with
errors, the
allies,
infant was mistakenly
potentially
listed
including
as
Philip
eligible for
Kiriakis,
adoption.
Stephen DiMera,
Katie
or
unknowingly
even
became
Theo
part of this
if she
mess.
can manipulate
Lee
him.
insists that she
She
never
is not
meant
the
for
type to
anyone
take
to take her
betrayal
child.
lightly,
She
and her
claims she
past
was hiding
behavior
the baby
shows
from a threat,
she will strategize
someone she feared would
meticulously
try
to
to
turn
harm
the
or
tables on
manipulate her
Tony.
family.
This could
And
involve
that someone
exposing Tony's
is none
lies,
other than Sheila
sabotaging
Carter.
his plans
When
at
Sheila
DiMera
learns that
Enterprises,
Lee's child still
or
exists,
orchestrating a
and that the
scheme
baby's
that
identity
forces
is
him
now
into a
part of a
vulnerable
legal
position.
battle, she sees an
Abe,
opportunity.
on the other hand,
In a
will
shocking
likely
twist,
scramble
Sheila
to regain
petitions for
control.
joint custody,
Being
claiming
blindsided
that the
by
child is
Theo,
biologically
under
connected
Tony's
to her through
influence,
Finn's bloodline.
puts Abe in a
She
vulnerable
argues that as
position
the child's
professionally
grandmother,
and personally.
she has a right
He
to
may
be
have to
part of the
rely on
baby's
allies
life.
to uncover
The
Tony's
courtroom erupts
manipulations
with outrage
and
the moment
protect
her
the city,
attorney announces
which
this
could lead to
motion.
tense
Finn is
confrontations
horrified.
and power plays.
He wants nothing to do
In
with
short,
Sheila's madness,
Tony's
but at
betrayal
the
of
same
Gabby
time,
and his
he's torn
manipulation of
between his
Theo to
loyalty to his
blindside
mother,
Abe
Lee, and
sets
his
the
guilt about
stage
the
for major
situation.
Salem drama.
He doesn't know that his
Gabby's
mother
thirst
went
for
to extreme
revenge,
lengths to hide a
combined with
baby,
Abe's determination
one who could be his
to thwart
half-sibling
Tony's
through a
schemes,
long-buried
will
family
lead
secret.
to a high-stakes
The custody
showdown.
fight
Tony
explodes
has
into one of
created
the most
chaos,
emotional
but in
legal
Salem,
showdowns in the bold
betrayal
and the
rarely
beautiful
goes
recent
unpunished,
history.
and Gabby
Lee and
is
Sheila
poised to
stand
turn
on
his own
opposite
game
sides,
against him.
their hatred raw and fiery. Lee insists that Sheila should never be near any child again, given her criminal history and violent past. Sheila, however, paints herself as a woman seeking redemption, a mother who's made mistakes but deserves a second chance to show love and care. The courtroom becomes a battleground of tears, accusations, and buried truths. Katie sits in the middle, heartbroken and powerless, realizing that her dream of motherhood is slipping through her fingers because of two women's decades-long war. Ridge and Brooke attend the hearing to support Katie, while Finn and Steffi are pulled into the emotional chaos, trying to protect their family from Sheila's toxic influence. During the proceedings, shocking evidence surfaces. Lee's private medical files reveal that the baby was conceived through an experimental embryo program she ran years ago, and the donor material was linked to Finn's father, Jack Finnegan. This revelation means that Sheila has no biological tie to the baby at all, destroying her claim of grandmother rights. But Sheila doesn't give up easily. In true Sheila fashion, she creates a public spectacle, crying in the courtroom, accusing Lee of playing God with human life and stealing children to build her perfect family. Her meltdown ends with her being escorted out of court, screaming that the truth will come out. But even as the judge leans in favor of Lee, Katie's own position becomes fragile. The court declares that the adoption must be paused until the biological custody matter is fully resolved. This means that the baby remains in legal limbo, not with Lee, not with Katie, and certainly not with Sheila. Bill tries to intervene behind the scenes, using his connections to help Katie. He offers Lee a deal, shared guardianship until the court decides, but Lee refuses, insisting that her child belongs with her, not with the Logans. Brooke pleads with her to see reason, but Lee's anger toward the Logan family only grows. In a heartbreaking moment, Katie visits the baby one last time before custody is frozen. She holds the child close, whispering, "You were supposed to be my new beginning." Tears stream down her face.